Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today is my birthday to start off, and my one birthday wish is that everybody who views this video gives me a like and subscribe. That being aside, let's jump right into today's subject matter. Now, I'm sure everybody's social media feed has been inundated with the stories about the possible discovery of massive structures under the Khafre Pyramid from the satellite SAR scan. And in these stories, you may have noticed a lot of people are speculating that the structure could be something called the Halls of Amenti. And many people are seeing that going, what are the Halls of Amenti? So I figured I'd do a quick video just to try and kind of, in a basic way, explain this to people who might not know. Now, there's two different versions on what the Halls of Amenti are, and I'll get into which one directly relates to what this pyramid scan is. The first version is from the ancient Egyptians, and this relates to what they call Amentet. And Amentet is the actual Hall of Judgment where the dead souls go to enter the afterlife. And it's, once you're laid in your tomb, this is where you would journey to. It's somewhere in the west where the sun sets. And this is where all the magic happens to go to the afterlife. It's not a physical place that any living person could go. So that version doesn't really relate to what's going on with this pyramid scan. The second version, which is what they're talking about, which more relates to this, has to do with the pyramid, or the emerald tablets of Thoth. The emerald tablets are not an Egyptian thing. This is actually a Greek thing. So I'll read to you the best description I found online, and this is from like the Crystal Wellness Warehouse, but it's just a really good way to lay it out so you would understand it. As described in the second emerald tablet, Thoth built the pyramids at the entrance to the Halls of Amenti. Thoth used the highest, most worthy individual to become guard of the halls, later making him a priest, designating him as a god of wisdom. It is said that the Halls of Amenti act as a filter between physical being and our soul, the realm between the Omega and our world as we see it. The Omega point is where the individual will achieve the highest point of consciousness after passing through the Halls of Amenti. Reincarnation may happen within the halls, where an individual is given a new physical body. This may happen repeatedly until the individual finally understands the physical world is an illusion. These halls are said to be made of mirrors or mirror-like depictions, as this realm is an illusion to those who enter. The only way to pass through the realm, the Halls of Amenti, is by acquiring wisdom and knowledge. Okay. So that's how it relates. So that would be a physical place you could go. Also, you would also have to be dead. So I know it's a little confusing, but bear with me. So, and also on top of that, you're going to be asking, many of you, what are the Emerald Tablets of Thoth? Which we need to get into that too. Well, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, I'm going to go ahead and refer to an article called The Greek Reporter. And I'm going to quote one of the researchers on the project that scanned the pyramids, Armando May. Sorry if I butcher his last name. I don't speak Italian. So here we go. According to academic Armando May, expert on the pyramids of Giza and Egyptian art, Thoth divided his knowledge into 42 plates of emerald, codifying the great scientific principles ruling the universe. The legend tells us that after the gods' fall, the tablets were cleverly hidden so that no human being might find them. May said only Thoth, on his return to that dimension, was able to recover the mysterious book. Okay. Here we go. Now, I'd love to show you a picture of the tablets, but there aren't any available. There's no images of these tablets. Now, You may be asking yourself, well, how do we know what's on the tablets? If there's no pictures of them, have they ever been found? Well, you know, supposedly they have at some point or another in history. And it originally starts with a Greek story where they relate Thoth to one of their gods, Hermes, and they call him Hermes Trismegistus, or thrice majestic. Okay? And supposedly they were originally found in like 8 BC in the city of Tyana, clutched by the actual corpse of Hermes. There's no proof of this. It's just a story. The most recent story is actually comes from early 20th century. And supposedly they were discovered by a man named Maurice Doreal in 1925 in the Great Pyramid. And then he wrote a book which he published later on in about 1950. Now, Doreal claimed during a 1925 visit to the Great Pyramid of Giza, he discovered a set of ancient emerald tablets belonging to the Egyptian deity Thoth, whom he reimagined as the king of Atlantis. Doreal then claimed to have translated the text, which he published as the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, not to be confused with the medieval Hermetic text called the Emerald Tablet. So don't confuse the two. But apparently he's the only one that's ever seen these tablets. Nobody has ever seen these tablets. They've never been found. People keep saying they're made of emerald. I don't think they'd be lost if they were giant pieces of emerald. Those have massive intrinsic value, whether it had writing on them or not. Others say it's a green stone. So as you can see, as far as this goes, this all ties basically into a giant legend. Right? There's no actual proof that these tablets exist. Nobody's ever seen them except for this guy, and nobody knows what he did with them. I would think you'd want to keep those. And of course, you can attribute any, shall we say, paranormal aspects to the reason nobody else has seen them. So that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this giant esoteric city that is directly related to Atlantis. As a matter of fact, you can go in and look at a translation, supposed, of the second Emerald Tablet, which deals with the halls of Amenti. And it says, deep in the earth heart lies the halls of Amenti, far neath the islands of sunken Atlantis, halls of the dead and halls of the living, bathed in fire of infinite all. Like I said, if you want to believe that that was from one of the Emerald Tablets, you really have to take it on faith. There's no evidence. And I would say that what you believe really depends on you. If you're like me, who prefers text you can actually read from the source, then this would not be the halls of Amenti, because that's not a physical place that you could visit unless you're dead. If you believe the tablets of Thoth were a real thing and you believe the mythology and the legends, then by golly, you could believe that that's what's sitting under Khafre's pyramid. I, for one, going as far as Khafre's pyramid, I'm going to wait for the actual scientist to review all this data and see if it's actually worth poking around under that pyramid and seeing what's actually there. Other than that, thanks a lot for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. Bye.